Hello. In this video, we're going to wrap up making this image, and the two things we need to do is to organize the stack of layers and resize the images. So each of these three images is not its proper size. The Times Square image needs to fill the background, and then the ball and the hamster need to be resized accordingly. So let's start by putting them in the proper order. We've already looked at layers and how the order of their stack here on the right-hand side determines how they're viewed in the image. So we want Times Square to be on the bottom because it's the background image. So just click Times Square and drag it down till it's below the hamster and the ball, and now it's behind the hamster and behind the ball. And then we want the ball, and then we want the hamster. Now the really nice thing about PIXLR is resizing is super easy. When you click on a layer, notice that you get that little rectangle around the image in that layer. So in this case, the hamster has this rectangle around it, and it's got these four, each corner has a little square in it, a little anchor point as it's called. And those are the little grabby points that we use to resize the image in the layer. So let's first click on Times Square, and we'll go to our Move tool, top left, and move one corner of Times Square to the corner of our image here. Then we'll grab this little box in the corner, click and drag it, and that will resize the Times Square image. And it's actually just the right size for the image file that we have in PIXLR. So Times Square is now filling up the background of our image. Next, I'm going to go with the ball. Oh, I think I named these wrong. So I have the hamster named ball and the ball named hamster. Okay. Okay, there we go. So next I'll move the ball, and I'm in my move tool again, and I will move the ball there. That looks about the right size. Let's make it a little smaller. Actually, let's make it a little bigger. Well, right there looks good. I think that's about the size it was. And I'm going to move it, yeah, I think right in the center there. I like that. Okay, and lastly, we'll click on the hamster layer, and that needs to be moved. And again, that's looking like a pretty good size. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Remember, that's the scroll function on my mouse. I think I'm going to rotate this one. So to rotate the image, you want to grab the little ball on top of the image, so the little round indicator. If you click and move that, you can rotate the image. So let's just rotate it just a little bit to give it some sense of being on an angle like that. And I'm going to zoom out and see what the size looks like. I like it. So it's the right size. I've rotated it. One thing I noticed is I had the hamster on top, and actually I think I want these little feet behind the ball. So this is where the layer order is really important, the layer order in the stack. Watch as I move the hamster below the ball. Those little feet now are behind the ball, which looks a little more natural. It looks like the hamster's actually on top of the ball and rolling along on the top of it. And there we have our final image. Let's click off of There we go. So make that box disappear. And there we have the final image of the hamster rolling across Times Square on a rainbow basketball during the coronavirus quarantine. So you've learned a lot of tools and functions of Pixlr in these series of videos. And one more thing we have to look at um, is how to save our files, both as we're working on them and then when we're done, and when you want to post them online or share them with someone, email, social media. There are certain ways that you'll want to save your files depending on what you want to do with them. So we'll have one more video and look at that, how to save your file. And then you will be ready to create and share your work and spread it across the world. I will see you in the next video.